Well, hello, folks, and welcome back. It's another Wednesday, and that means another ranking of the Game Boy Puzzlers. We have a list where it's got 31 games on it, Tetris at the top, Blodia at the bottom. And this week, we're playing a little game called Ishido Way of the Stones. This is an entirely Western creation that was made to look like an Eastern game. This is just I think some versions of this actually had like an E-King functionality or something. It's awkward, but I mean it's a game that came out on a bunch of platforms, home computers. I also played this on the Genesis, and mainly because I wanted to figure out how the heck you play this game. When I tested it for this list, I played it, I'm like, yeah, this qualifies as a puzzle game, but I don't get it. And so, just in the name of fairness, I try to be as fair as I can with all of these. I try to make sure that they all get the same level of consideration. So I thought, well, I should probably figure out how to play this before. You know, we won't be practicing necessarily. I don't think practice is going to make that big a difference here, but at least not losing time trying to figure out how in the heck the game works, which that's been a concern a couple times now. I'm just talking. I'm saying things. I don't know. But anyway, let's just... Whoa, things went... I do not know why the camera does that sometimes. Alright, anyway, let's just jump right on in here. My friends at Nexoft. We can get away with turning that down just a bit. So I don't know what solitaire or versus computer do. Well, or tournament, or... I'm just gonna go solitaire first. Music. So we have shapes, music marks, and Ishido, which is just sort of vaguely Asian symbols. If I understand, I guess we can start with shapes. I think that's the most basic. Okay, that can't go there. If I press... Okay, it can take back moves. That's interesting. Help. Return hint pouch. And look at the pouch. Okay, so these are all the tiles, except for the ones that are on the board. And you can see how they have different shapes, but also different patterns. And as you may have guessed, this was originally a game where you either had to match shapes or colors. But Game Boy can't do colors, so they tried sort of sticking these sort of visual noise on here. And so I believe the idea is that it has to match, each tile you drop has to match either the color or shape of the adjacent tiles. So like we can't put this here, because even though it's the same shape, the horizontal line is different than the vertical line. But we could, in theory, put this next to this, because they both have horizontal lines. And we could put this next to this, or not here. Can't go there, but it can go here. And so in the early goings here, we're mostly just going to be sorry. Still having post-nasal drip. That's probably not going to change ever. So now this one can fit here because it matches both of these. And this one can match here because it's a circle and it's got the horizontal line. I think this can go here. Oh, I should have put that there. We can take the both back. Okay. We'll put that there. I think I screwed this up. I shouldn't have put that there. At some point, these triangles are going to start messing us up. And badly. And then we can fit that there. All right. See this one fits the pattern, the shape, the shape. Yeah, that one fits those two shapes, but not that pattern. Come on, that doesn't count? It's the same shape as both of those. One other thing I'll say when I was playing the Genesis version is it would just straight up show you what the available moves are. Like just by default, like that was just the setting. So this game being kind of fussy about doing that is throwing me off a little. There are no matches. There are no matches. Oh, that's... Do you mean at all, or...? Because if that's the case, then what do I do? Okay, there's no matches. So does the game just stop because there's no... I guess... Start over, I guess? I have a feeling it's going to be impossible to put a piece in there now. Darn, darn, darn. Alright, I can't go there, but I can go there. So again, I think it needs to match everything around it. I'm having a little bit of trouble as well determining what this thing considers a match and what it doesn't. Well, I guess I can put that there, I guess. There are no matches. Okay, I think that means the game is done. End game. So I think we just got a score of 0. It's a tournament. What does that do? Okay, so I'm going to try to avoid patterns as much as possible and just focus on shapes. And I think I already screwed it up. I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely... What is going... I don't know. Is this working here? Okay, yeah. Okay, it needs to match one or the other. And also at least one of both, I think? I think that's what's happening? So maybe I can put this here? No? Well, we can put this here. And we can do that. Thing is, I don't think it's actually, like, necessarily inconsistent. I'm just not sure I get all of the rules. Especially as these things start to get a little more elaborate here. I thought you were going to tell me no matches left. I guess there was a match left. Tasty. Okay, we're down to the last 6 tiles, so I think we're going to clear it this time. Maybe. Now we can put this here. Maybe here? Yeah. Three more tiles, we almost got it. There are no matches. Well, there you go. So much for we got it. Oh, you can only back up one move. No, if it says there's no matches, not much we can do. We got a high score of 55 in whatever way tournament was different from solitaire. Go versus computer. Was that? Did I say versus computer? Oh, I think I did. Okay. Okay, now we get to observe the brilliance of the computer. I'm sure he's got this all figured out. That was a good move. Yeah. I'll call it when it's true. And that apparently worked. It's self-evident. He's apparently making more points than I am. like I just went ahead and made this all easy for you. I guess this is going here. Oh, what? Well, computer got more points than I did. And so I assume that versus player 2 is a pass and play, and then versus Link is... yeah. Reach over. And I don't know if this is a case where I should be looking at the tile pouch and planning ahead, maybe? Is that what I'm not doing? Excuse me. I get one of these? Oh, yeah, it's already boxed in. Nothing we can do with that. Can I put this here? No. Okay. I think I can put this here. That... no, that's not gonna work. Go there. Will that work? This might work. This does start to feel like a lot of guesswork at a certain point. Will this go in here? Okay. Again, this is the first time I've gotten a scarab with vertical stripes that are close to one another. I think that's what that is. Nope. 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 Well, it's not saying no moves left, so there must be a move left. Oh, there it is. Okay. Wait. All right. Well, it still hasn't told me no moves left. Now there's no moves left. That's a new high score, I guess. Oh, wait, no. Yes, thank you for the evaluation. So for me personally, the music marks are the easiest ones to read. That obviously personal bias. Yeah, if there's a trick to this, I do not know what it is. All I know is that I'm not getting any points at all. I think I can put this here. Okay, that was 2 points. That calls for not 1, but 2 points. Okay, I'm just gonna put that there. Alright, so the other one of those is already boxed in. And I'm sure there's some kind of logic to how this thing determines points. I don't know what that logic is. Oh, those are the... And the same thing, like, I was just looking at these pattern. Again, the patterns are kind of a poor substitute for colors. That's maybe not the most accessibility-minded way of looking at it, because obviously that's going to be a problem for some players. But, yeah. Oh, right, this is, the same as this one. This seems to be working a little better. We beat our previous high score. Yeah, so the match is in there. So try matching like that, maybe? There are no matches. There are no matches. There are no matches. There are no matches. Well, I guess there's no matches. Okay, so it looks like remaining tiles doesn't count against your score. I guess that's something. No. Still struggling to fully get the specifics of the rule set here. Same as that one, I guess. If there are any rumors going around that I know what I'm doing, I would like to dispel those immediately. I think this one is going to go particularly badly. Largely because I still don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. For all I know, this game is actually brilliant. Okay, it didn't say no matches, so that means it can go somewhere. Or maybe it can go here. Oh, again, it's the horizontal and the vertical stripes. They just don't. They blur together. And, oh yeah, there's no matches. I guess that's that. It seems like you get more points if you make matches that aren't based on the shape. But only sometimes? Why do I have 2 points? Where did I get those? What is going on? Oh, wait, no, I got 3 points. I feel like there was this era, you know, where computer programs had to be written in like assembly language. And so you needed people who really were really into like computer science if you wanted to make even a game like this. And so there was definitely this era where games were being designed by like mathematicians and software engineers, and you really get the sense of these games that the rules made perfect sense to the people who created the game. To them. I'll just say them, the people who created them. And that just did not translate to the game making sense to a general audience. You know, we played Minesweeper on this channel a while ago, and that is a game, like I eventually kind of figured out most of how to play Minesweeper. But, like, that's kind of an exception for me personally. This... I kind of don't get it. I had to say, like, with each game I play, I feel like I understand this less rather than more. really does kind of make you wonder. I have no idea what a four-way is or how you set one up. Why not? I feel like even after playing this for a little bit less than an hour, I'm still clicking on squares and being like, oh, this isn't going to work, and then it does. Or, oh, this should work, and then it doesn't. It's not telling me there's no matches. So there's a match somewhere. Here? This? Okay. Yeah, I just don't get it. Oh, that can go there, apparently. Okay. Well, it didn't say no moves left. I think this can go here. There are no... Oh, there it is. There it is. Now there's no matches. Alright, well, let's just go ahead and get this game on the board. Okay. So, I came in here fairly confident about where this, well, not necessarily where this was going to land, but how my assessment of it was going to be. Basically that I was going to say, you know, like it's an okay casual game that you might enjoy playing, but the color matching, you know, on a system that has a monochrome screen, a bit of an issue, that maybe it's a good game that this is not the version to play. But after sitting here playing this for an hour, I'm not entirely convinced that it's a good game either. The rules on this are just very, very difficult to parse. And like I said, when I played the Sega Genesis version for comparison, like it showed you on the board every available move. And so you can put that piece here, 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 or here. And look at and I only played it on once on the Genesis and successfully got every tile on the board. Maybe the board is a little bigger? I don't know. There's just... It's a compound of two things. Like, it's the frustration of, you know, having to parse these, like, sort of patterns of gray-ish pixels on top of the rules being hard to parse. And it just doesn't make for a very fun game. And maybe someday I'll sit... There's a version of this for the Atari Lynx. Maybe someday I'll sit down and give that one a try. Just again, to see for comparison how much of the problem is the hardware. I think this might just be not a particularly user-friendly version of the game. I really don't know. But anyway. I can say it's not as good as Nontan. Here let's say it's not as good as Sanrio Carnival. It's not as good as that kinda busted version of Lemmings. I say kinda busted. It's in specific areas. Stop That Roach was easier to understand. You know, and that was another game where you would just kind of try things and see what happened, and it wasn't always clear what was going to work. But there was more of a linear process to it. So it's better than Cool Ball. It's not as boring. Well, no, it's not as boring as Wild Snake. It is a slower-paced game, but it's a slower-paced game that you can play casually. And so, you know, whereas like Wild Snake requires a certain amount of attention on your part and still isn't very interesting. So it's a more interesting game. Yeah, it's comparable to Minesweeper in some respects because, you know, much like that game, you know, just a game where, you know, it's a game that feels like it was designed by mathematicians. Is technically better than Nail and Scale? Oh, excuse me. Then it suffers from kind of the same problem as this version of Puyo Puyo. Puyo Puyo, I think, is still a little more playable. We're going to say there. As soon as I pull up a reference on how to spell that. No Way of the Stones is our new number 24. So congratulations to Ishido, Way of the Stones, a top 25 puzzle game for the Game Boy. And yeah, not a game I'm all that excited about. Possibly better on other platforms. And that's what we'll say. But that is going to be me for this evening. I will, of course, be back tomorrow night with some live improvised music, and I will be back on Saturday with music production. And, well, I see A-Word's on. He's been playing some piano. But I also know that it's probably going to start getting late where he is, and so he's probably going to be done soon. Yeah, I guess Psychedelic Eyeball is still playing Deus Ex Revision. So come have a look at that. And so, as always, thanks for coming by, thanks for hanging out and watching and doing whatever. And as always, I do hope to see you next time. So bye for now.